Good morning, dear learners, and welcome to you all to the next lecture of my course on financial literacy. This is module number 2 and lecture number 8, active and passive income and instant and delayed gratification. In this lecture, we will be going to discuss on the various concepts and sources of the active as well as passive income. We will be also going to understand what is the main differences between the active and passive income. We will be going to understand the difference between the instant as well as the delayed gratification and what is the importance of all these concepts into the management of personal finances of an individual. If we talk about the various types of income that an individual have, then there may be basically two different types. One is known as the active income that we are going to discuss now in detail. Basically, active income is the primary source of income for every individual, whether he is a businessman, an employed, personal or any other professional. It is the primary source of income, and that is why it requires a lot of time of the individual as well as their professional and managerial skills as well as their physical efforts are also required to earn the active income. Active income basically refers to the earnings of an individual through the direct efforts and by giving a specific amount of time to any particular type of business, profession or economic activity. These kind of sources are very important for all those individuals who do not come from the financially well-off family and earn these types of income with the help of regular involvement of work, whether through running a personal business or by offering services to others. So, examples of these kinds of services may include the wages, salaries, profits and some other kind of income that is earned by an individual by dedicating a specific time span as well as their physical effort and professional skills are also required to earn such kind of income. Supermoney team have defined the term active income as the money that is earned through the services performed such as wages, salaries, commission and business profits. For example, we can discuss that a person who is employed in a XYZ company as a manager earns their income in the form of salary which is regular in nature and it is fixed as per the terms and condition of his employment. These type of income may be discussed as the active income of that manager who is employed in the company. Now, let us discuss the various components or the various important features of the active income. If we talk about the active income, basically this is a kind of income which is earned by an individual by actively involved in any kind of business or professional activities or any kind of employment. It is done, the compensation in case of the active income is determined on the basis of the time and effort that is involved by any individual into their business or profession or their employment. It is derived by the business and profession that is they are doing, that means the products or services that they are offering to the consumer or to their employer, and the benefits of such kind of income are basically stable, fixed and consistent in nature. That means they are regular in nature, the salary, wages and business profit, they are consistent and they are stable. In some cases there may be exceptions where from a business a person can also earn some losses. The various sources of the active income may be categorized into business profits, salaries and bonuses. So basically business profits are the type of income that a person earns by establishing a business or any kind of economic activity. So by pursuing economic activity and engaging the various types of factor inputs for the production of goods and commodities and selling those products into the market, If they earn any kind of revenue, then after deducting the cost of production from the revenue, whatever income is left to the businessman is known as the amount of profit. So, the business profit, for earning the business profit, it requires a significant effort from the side of the businessman and continuous involvement and engagement of personal as well as professional capability for the purpose of producing products and services and catering them into the market, and finally earning business profits on the basis of such exchanges. Now, the next one is the salary. If we talk about the salary, salaries are another form of the active income that is earned by an individual by taking any kind of regular job. So, in the case of salary, the income is earned by any employee by having a term of employment, by giving a specific amount of time into the job. With the help of their skills and physical capabilities, they perform the job, and after the completion of a particular time span, they get a salary from their employer. Now, the next source of active income is the bonuses. A bonus is an additional payment that is made to the employee by the employer, typically given once or twice in a year based on their performance, or it may be also given them as a reward of their contribution to the economic entity. So, bonuses are not a regular kind of income, but it is provided on the basis of the job performance, as well as the it may be regarded as a reward to the employees on the basis of their contribution into the company. Now, let us discuss the various features of active income. If we talk about the various features of active income, these incomes are derived on the basis of efforts that are put in by an individual into a job, into a business, or any other kind of professional activity. The direct relation of the amount of income that a person may earn is established with the basis of the hard work that is done by an employee in their job, professional skills, or in the employment. It may be inflexible in nature, it may increase or decrease depending on the terms and conditions of the job and the contribution that is employed by the employee into the organization. It is basically a stable form of income, so regularity of income may be seen here, as well as it is sensitive to economic conditions also. So, we can say that the active income is basically the result of the individual effort that one is employing in their job, in their business, or in their profession, and according to the commitment and the hard work that is invested by an individual, they may earn the amount of active income from their jobs. Next one is, it depends on the capability and hard work. So, obviously any individual who is hardworking and have earned enough amount of professional as well as personal skill to perform a job skillfully, they will earn higher as compared to the other individual. It is inflexible in nature, that means it lacks flexibility, as individuals cannot always set their own schedules for work hours. So, it may also depend on the employer as well as the customers and client, and that is why the amount of active income that an individual earn may be inflexible in nature. Then it is an stable income. Active income provides a stable source of earning to any individual because it is regular in nature, as well as it helps them to make their living standard possible. So, as long as you continue to work, you will get the active income for your different kind of expenditure. And at last, we can say all the active income are sensitive to the economic conditions. If the country's economic conditions are good and the business and economic growth is achieved in the nation, the salaries, wages and bonuses will be higher as compared to the vice versa condition. Now, let us discuss the next term that may be related to the concept of income, which is very popular, that is the passive income. Passive income may not be directly related to the physical efforts, time span given into a job, as well as it is also not directly related with the professional skills of any individual. Passive income basically refers to the earning that is generated by individual by putting in minimum effort as well as physical contribution and less time involvement into any kind of business or any other kind of activity. So this kind of income allows you to have an insignificant amount of earnings without investing significant time, effort or any kind of professional contribution. In India, passive income generation is now becoming very much successful and popular due to the advancement into the ICT technology, that is technological and digital world is growing at a larger scale, and with the passive income anyone can build a strong wealth, as well as if you dedicate a very small amount of time into the investments or into any other kind of activity that can generate any kind of a stable income for you, then passive income may be very helpful for you to create the wealth. So basically, passive incomes typically requires large initial investment into any kind of investment, or by taking any specialized technical skill we can earn the passive income. Now, the sources of passive income may be categorized as interest, lending of money, dividend, capital investment and rent. So let us discuss each one of them in detail. Now, the first source of passive income, that is the interest on deposits, it may be earned when a person deposits their surplus money with any bank or any financial institution. So whenever we open a saving account and we deposit our money into fixed deposits for a longer period of time, we earn regular return on such kind of investment. So this is an example of passive income. Then there may be some dividends also. Dividends are basically the amount of return that is earned by the shareholders for investing into a company's shareholders. This is a very popular source of passive income. With the help of investing your money into the stock market and in the securities of the companies, we can very easily earn dividend if our investment decisions are correct. Now, the next type of income is rent. If you are owning a house property and you are giving it to someone on the rental basis, then rent may be also earned, and this also comes under the group of passive income, because here you do not need to involve into the business activities or any other kind of economic activity. You only need to have a house property with the help of which you can earn a sufficient amount of regular return by renting your apartment or building on a rental basis to any other tenant. Now, the next one is lending. Lending money to the borrowers and earning interest on those loans may also be a source of passive income. So, many of the business organization, individuals, for the purpose of starting their economic activities or expanding and modernizing their economic activities, they take loan from the individuals, banking companies and financial intermediaries. So all these banking companies or individual lenders or financial intermediaries, they earn sufficient amount of interest on the amount of money that is given to the borrowers for the purpose of starting their business. Then the next one is the capital investment. Investing capital in business and earning a share of profit may be another source of passive income. This type of income comes from the return on investments such as stocks or shareholdings in a particular company. Now, let us understand what are the features of a passive income, how we can differentiate the passive income from the active income. So, the passive incomes basically have the following features. It requires a very minimal or low effort from the individuals for the purpose of earning revenue. It is highly flexible in nature. That means you do not need to invest a lot of time or a lot of energy for the purpose of earning or increasing the passive sources of income. You only need to invest the amount of money into the various investment avenues to make it increase or to decrease the passive sources of income. Then it is an additional earning source. That means it cannot be defined as a primary source of earning, and one cannot depend for their livelihood on the passive sources of income, as it is highly flexible in nature. If you do not invest your money into the capital investment or shares of the company, then it may be possible that your passive income may be very less, and that may not help you to meet your necessary expenditures. So it is an additional source of income. It may not be helpful for the purpose of meeting all your expenditures of the life. Then it requires a huge amount of initial capital investment. For example, if you want to earn a passive income through the rental money, then you need to invest into the building, property, or any other real estate asset. In such cases, obviously you need a large amount of financial resources that will be invested into the acquisition of the fixed asset, and that is why we are saying that initial capital investment is required in case of the various passive income sources. Then it has a great potential for the growth. So obviously in case of the passive income, there is a great potential for growth because it helps you to earn income by putting minimum effort, and if all the economic conditions are in your favor, then in a very small amount of time the potential to grow your money is very high, as well as it will add an extra cushion to your finances. So these are the various features of the passive income. So very easily we can now, with the help of this picture, analyze the various differences between the active and the passive sources of income. So if we talk about the active sources of income, we can see that here you require to invest more time into the work, and you have a very less free time with you for the purpose of your personal life. So for the purpose of earning income through active income sources, you need to put a lot of effort as well as a specific amount of time into the employment or in any other kind of business activity for the purpose of earning money. Then here there may be various types of employment that you can take for the purpose of earning the active sources of income, from where you can get the salary. Whereas in passive income, we can see the various sources are dividends, royalties, rent, and here you need to only make huge capital investment, and you have to work less, as well as you will have more free time with you to manage all other your personal activities. So on the basis of effort, we can very easily differentiate the active income as a kind of income where you need to require to put in a lot of effort for the purpose of earning money. Whereas in case of passive income, a very minimal effort is required for the purpose of earning money. On the basis of flexibility, if we differentiate both the concept, active income is less flexible on the basis of terms and conditions and economic environment in which you are working. It have a proper schedule on the basis of which the amount of active income is basically constant and regular, and that is why we are saying it is less flexible. Whereas passive income is highly flexible in nature. It can be made flexible by putting in more investment into the various investment avenues that are available into the market. So without giving your time, without putting more effort, by only increasing the initial investment into the various types of asset, you can very easily increase the chances of earning more passive income from the market. Next is initial investment. If we talk about the initial investment, In the case of active income, we need not to invest any huge amount of sources. If we are starting a business, then only we need to have some capital with us. In otherwise cases, if we are taking any employment or if we are any professional and providing services to the others, then we do not require any initial investment for the purpose of earning active income. Whereas in case of the passive income, time is not required, but for the purpose of investment, you need to have a huge amount of capital with you. For a fixed period of time, you need to invest your money into the market to earn passive income. The examples are salaries, bonus, commission and profit in case of the active income, whereas in case of the passive income, there may be dividend, rent, loyalties and interest income on the lending of the money that can be earned by an individual. So, these are the various differences between the income of active income and passive income. Now, let us understand the next concept, which is the gratification. The term gratification is often heard in everyday conversation, and in simple terms, gratification basically refers to the amount of satisfaction that one may have after spending a particular amount of money for the purpose of purchasing any kind of products, services or any other kind of thing that may fulfill their desire. So basically, when we talk about the gratification in personal finance, it becomes very important for every individual, as it helps them to understand the utility that they derive from any amount of money invested into the purchase of products, commodities and services, and hence by understanding the amount of utility, they can judge whether spending the money is beneficial for them or not. So, gratification may also be categorized into two different categories. One is the instant gratification and the second one is the delayed gratification. Instant gratification is basically a concept where the financial resources of any individual is invested or it is spent by an individual for the purpose of having an immediate satisfaction out of that spending. So, for example, if you need to go on a vacation and have a good time there and you are spending any money in a near future time, then this may be discussed as an example of instant gratification. So, whenever we prioritize enjoying by spending money into the present time and having pleasure out of that, then this may be discussed as the instant gratification. So, whenever we are giving more importance to our short term objectives of financing over the long term financial objective, then this may be the case of instant gratification. So, basically, according to the Oxford Dictionary also, the term instant gratification has been defined as the fulfillment of a desire without any delay. So, the key features of the instant gratification has been discussed as the immediate satisfaction. Whatever amount of money is invested into the fulfillment of such kind of desire gives you instant satisfaction. It is based on a short term approach. That means in case of the instant gratification, all the expenses of the individuals are done aiming on short term objectives of the individuals. That means they prioritize the present pleasure over the long term financial objective. Here one exhibits a lower self control. That means they cannot control the desire of fulfilling a particular kind of want or need of their life. That means individual in such cases favor instant gratification over the long term gratification, and they exhibit a lower self control, as well as it may be possible that unnecessary expenditures can also be made in the case of instant gratification. We can also see a cycle of the instant gratification in this particular picture, where we want to avoid the task. whereas the trigger is there every time when you have to deal with the difficult task, then pleasurable activities are there and feeling rewarded is there. So our brain releases dopamine and encourages you to opt for the pleasurable activity next time. So this is the cycle of instant gratification that you can see here. Now the next concept is the delayed gratification. If we talk about the delayed gratification, it is just opposite of the instant gratification, where the long term financial objective of the individuals takes priority over the short time pleasures. It involves sacrificing the immediate needs or wants of an individual and aiming at the long term financial objectives of fulfilling any kind of desire. For example, for the purpose of purchasing a house, if you are delaying your present expenses and saving your money into any fixed or into any long term investment, with the help of which in future you will be able to buy the house, then this can be discussed as the delayed gratification. Delayed gratification, as per the Roy psychologist, has been defined as the ability to resist an immediate temptation in order to achieve a more significant goal in the near future. Now, let us discuss the various key features of the delayed gratification. It always aims at having a future reward. That means delayed gratification focuses on achieving long-term rewards rather than seeking the immediate satisfaction out of the spending of an individual. It takes a long-term approach. That means it encourages savings for future investment and making it forward thinking and self-control. Then it also gives you a higher self-control. Individuals who practice delayed gratification are often found to have greater self-control as compared to the other individual, as well as it always helps you to encourage saving. A rational human being who is prioritizing the delayed gratification always have a good habit of saving enough amount for their future. So to conclude today's lecture, I would like to summarize the key takeaways of today's discussion and emphasize that one must understand the various sources of income, that is the active and passive income, so as to increase their total earning and to create a large amount of wealth at the time of their retirement, as well as the understanding of the term gratification also may help you to finalize your expenditures into the delayed as well as the instant gratification, and with the help of which you can very easily make your choices of when you need to spend your money and when you can control it for some time and delay your expenditures. So with this, I would like to conclude today's lecture. Thank you.